Houde's tree farm has been around for over 60 years, first started by Sheila Houde's grandfather, who actually used to sell Christmas trees at his house before purchasing the farm.
He purchased this property that you see in 1976 and started growing Christmas trees. We actually, after he passed away, started selling pre-cut trees up here at the farm and stopped selling them at his house.
Sheila's husband Mike learns by doing and appreciates the help from an employee who has worked at the tree farm for over 50 years.
We didn't know too much about it when we started doing it in 2006 when my wife's grandfather passed away, but from reading and just doing it, we learned a lot. So that's how we mostly did it. The guy who works up here too has been working here for 50 years, so he was also helpful.
The farm is on over 35 acres of land. That's a lot of ground to cover when it comes to planting trees.
This is a 37-acre parcel. We don't plant Christmas trees on the whole entire parcel, and we're learning as we go the best conditions to plant the trees. There used to be a lot of trees on the hill, but it's not easy to take care of, so we've been doing it on the flatter lands.
The Christmas tree seedlings come from all over the U.S.
There's nurseries throughout the Midwest and Pennsylvania and Maine, and we get them from different places. We get some of them from North Carolina Department of Agriculture, upper Michigan.
The process of fully growing a Christmas tree can take up to 15 years.
Trees are laid out in rows, so in the flat areas there's a tree every 5 feet, and we do that so we can get through with a mower and trim around them. You dig a small hole to plant the seedling, and then you close the hole around the roots of the seedling. And essentially, we don't fertilize unless we need to.
It's very important to plant Christmas trees every year, so you always have some growing for the next season.
You have to be consistent with your planting because it takes almost 10 years for the trees to develop. So if you miss planting for a few years, there'll be a hole in your stock 10 years out, and that's happened. Like after my wife's grandfather passed away, there was a little transition period there where we didn't plant many seedlings.
At Houde's farm, they have many different varieties of trees to choose from. You could get a different type of Christmas tree every year.
Pines, spruces and firs. We have white pines and Scotch pines. We also sell some native scrub pines. We have white spruce, blue spruce, Norway spruce, Fraser fir, balsam fir, concolor fir, and Douglas fir.
There are 3 types of trees that are most popular.
People love the Fraser fir and the balsam fir. We do grow other varieties. One of their favorites, but we don't have a lot, is the concolor. Not everybody likes that one, but it's got a neat fragrance. It smells like citrus.
It's called a concolor fir, and we get lots and lots of calls and requests for them, and we're almost sold out of the ones that we have in stock. Different people like a different type of tree. So in New England, the classic tree is a balsam. And Fraser is very similar to balsam, and so they're a tree that is very popular.
Houde's also sells a unique type of tree that is hard to find anywhere else in the state.
We actually also sell eastern red cedar, which if you drive along the highway, you see those shrubby things in the median. They grow here too. And we took a flyer on just trimming a couple of them up, and there's a family that comes out here every year to get an eastern red cedar. So when you cut it down, it smells like a cedar closet. I think we're probably the only place in the state where you can come and cut an eastern red cedar.
There is a certain way to cut down a Christmas tree.
Yes, grab a saw and cut it down. We prefer that they cut it down at the bottom and as straight as possible. And at that point, they'll offer a fresh cut. So even if you don't give yourself a straight cut, they can fix that for you up at the stand.
Houde's offers more than just trees on their farm.
We have wreaths, roping, swags, kissing balls. We have things for their Christmas tree like bags and pine life. And my husband will make reindeers on request. He gets busy, so usually he makes a few, but they go like hotcakes. He makes them out of birch.
It's all about keeping traditions alive at Houde's, and many Marlborough residents have even worked there.
My wife enjoys seeing some of the same families. When people come up here, they tell us they've been buying trees here for years and years and years. There's actually many people come up here, many of the men who come up here come up and relate stories of having worked up here, because my wife's grandfather used to always was looking for crew members, and so many of the local people have worked periodically up here off and on when they were kids.
It's a family effort at Houde's Tree Farm.
My wife's sister lives in the house down the street, and we use her garage as a workshop. Like I mentioned, John has worked here for 50 years. The lady who decorates all the wreaths has been doing it for 35 years. That's my wife's niece, Kathy. So it's kind of a nice family tradition.
Sheila and Mike have 2 young children who also help out on the farm.
Helping make the hot chocolate, giving out candy canes, and even planting trees when they get a little older. So we'll see.
There is so much to do at Houde's Tree Farm, and families are drawn there simply for the experience and making memories.
That's mainly who comes to cut their own tree, is young families, and families have been doing it here for many, many years, so we see a lot of the same faces.
People love just to come here and walk. Even if they don't cut a tree down, they usually get a pre-cut, but they love the experience of seeing Santa, getting some hot cocoa, a candy cane, and sharing it with their family.